Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have terrible luck for the next week. In the early times, the internet was a neutral platform, but now it turns to be one of the most dangerous places, hosting lots of world criminals and sometimes linking them up with their prey. In no time, our planet has become a very volatile place to live in, with increased crime rates on a daily basis. Today, we will be showing you the most dangerous people in the world. Let's begin. Number 7. Cody Wilson. Cody Wilson, also known as the homemade arms trader, is the director of Defense Distributed. Cody engages himself in making periodic blueprints updates for 3D printable weapons of all kinds. These blueprints software, called the Liberator, is a software that can help anyone make a gun from the comfort of their own home. In 2019, Cody put up the software on his website and recorded over 100,000 downloads. It is obvious that what Cody wants is absolute freedom of the internet and the creation of guns and weaponry. His intentions were to make guns available to anyone without having to purchase it and without seeking a license from a governmental body. Following the intervention from the US State Department, Cody Wilson is likely to be tried for illegal export of weapons and munitions, of which if found guilty. He would be seeing himself in prison for up to 7 years. In addition, if his actions were proved to have indeed been a threat to the United States' regional and national security interests, it is possible he would be facing a longer sentence. Number 6. Semyon Mogilevich. Often referred to as a Ukrainian mobster, Semyon Mogilevich is a crime boss in Ukraine who is believed to be the head of many Russian mafia syndicates across the globe, operating without boundaries or borders. In his quest for money and power, Mogilevich engages in a series of crimes like trading nuclear materials, trafficking, international prostitution, and contractors. To keep the cash flowing, he has held positions in over 100 front companies in about 30 countries, including Russia. Prior to his murder, Mogilevich was alleged to have benefited from the good relationship he has with Vladimir Putin in the 90s. This can be traced to Mogilevich's major characteristics, which are his influence in Europe's energy sector. In mid-2008, Russian police arrested Mogilevich with the aid of one of these numerous pseudonyms, Sergei Schneider, which he was using in affiliation with tax evasion from Arbat Prestige, a cosmetics company. 36 months later, the charges alleged on Mogilevich were dropped. However, he is on the FBI's list of most wanted for his engagement in a $150 million fraud. Number 5. Matteo Messina Denaro. Matteo Messina Denaro, aka Diabolique, the Sicilian mafia boss, is an Italian whose goal is to correct the mistakes and ills done to the oppressed and the poor. Also, he intends to make tons of money while fighting for the downtrodden. To achieve his aim, Matteo Messina Denaro gets himself involved in any profitable business like food distribution firms, shopping centers, agriculture, and wind farms, which are so extensive that it is hard to tell where his empire begins and where the economy of Western Sicily stops. Denaro has remained on the wanted list for having partaken in the Sicilian Mafia's bombing campaign, which occurred in the early 1990s. The bombing campaign was said to have claimed the lives of bystanders and magistrates in Sicily, Rome, and Florence alongside 50 other. For over 2 decades, Denaro has been evading police arrests and has remained on the run. However, in the last years, the Italian police had arrested over 30 of his networks, also seizing his assets like houses, cars, businesses, olive groves, and many more. Number 4. Joseph Kony. Next on the list is Joseph Kony, a vital war criminal and the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army. Joseph Kony headed this grueling group, which was previously operated in Uganda. Kony's desire is to establish a theocratic state which will be built on the local Alkholi tradition as well as the 10 Commandments. To make his wish a possibility, Kony continually orders the abduction and kidnapping of little children, training them to be slaves and soldiers. Between 1986 and 2009, Joseph Kony was accused to have kidnapped over 66,000 children while also unleashing harm on over 2 million people. Eventually, in the late moments of 2005, Kony was arrested and accused of crimes against humanity and charged on numerous counts of war crimes by the International Criminal Court sitting in The Hague, Netherlands. Sadly, he evaded and has since been on the run. While trying to put a stop to the countless crimes committed by Kony, the United States has pushed back the LRA, which had led to many of Kony's forces absconding and leaving him. Kony has been said to be in a poor health state, and the continuous pressure of eradicating LRA will eventually lead to his surrender and subsequently his capture. Number 3. Ismail El Mayo Zambada. Ismail El Mayo Zambada is another deadly drug lord and the kingpin of the Sinaloa cartel. While committing many atrocities in Mexico, Zambada remains the head of the multi-billion-dollar criminal organization in Mexico. He has continually trafficked narcotics to the United States and Europe, as well as engaging in many money laundering acts alongside kidnapping and seeking huge amounts of ransom. Zambada's head position in the Sinaloa cartel is clearly outlined with his engagement in brutal mass killing of civilians in any rival cartels just to achieve supremacy and ensure loyalty. In accordance with the release from House Committee on Homeland Security, Zambada's and other cartel communication networks has been duly infiltrated, which explains how they were able to arrest some past figureheads and leaders like the famous Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who was on the run for about 14 years before finally being arrested. Now it's time for today's best pick. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest fighters in the history of MMA, as well as an icon and pioneer of the sport. Number 2. Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock is a legendary and well-known American bare-knuckle boxer, a retired mixed kickboxer and martial artist, and a semi-retired professional wrestler. To his possession, Ken has 14 world and many other major championships alongside a distinction of being the first athlete to be elected to the UFC Hall of Fame. Ken Shamrock's notable performance in the World Wrestling Federation, Ultimate Fighting Championship, Pride Fighting Championship, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, and Pancrase earned him a significant title of the world's most dangerous man. After many years of making notable records and significant titles in the wrestling world, Ken Shamrock seems to be unstoppable as he is staging a comeback to the World Wrestling Entertainment. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works. Number 1. Omar Hassan al-Bashir. One other man to watch out for is Omar Hassan al-Bashir. Bashir is the president of Sudan and the commander of the Rapid Support Forces, also known as the Janjaweed Militia. Al-Bashir has the intention to quell, rebel, and give civilians countless unrest in South Sudan. During the 2003 war in Darfur, Omar Hassan al-Bashir made 10,000 Janjaweed tribe for hire to unleash terrors and notorious war crimes. At the moment, the Janjaweed now ride SUVs, which are fitted and powerfully built with high-powered weapons for wars against the Sudanese civilians held at al-Bashir's command. In the side of how to stop Bashir from subsequent attacks on the Sudanese, Abdi Ismail Samatar, a member of the African Academy of Sciences and a professor of geography, society, and environment at the University of Minnesota, said African states, along with China, which has commercial interests in Africa, need to use their weight to enforce a decades-old UN Security Council resolution that the Janjaweed be disarmed. Do you find this edition interesting and eye-opening? Let us know through the comments section below. Do not forget to subscribe and get notified for more updates. Have a good one, and as always, thanks for watching.